Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I was like, I wanted to do more alien abduction stories, but I'm like, okay, so I want to make my videos a little bit like shorter. So we're just gonna watch this video together and then we'll talk about it a little. Alrighty, so let's go.
Alien abductions, the Greys. Let's get into it. So I have had many clients. One of the areas that I work in is hypnosis and helping people retrieve memories, and I have had so many clients retrieve memories involving the Greys. So let's get into it. This is for entertainment purposes only. It's not factual information. It's just information I've picked up via clients' sessions. Always use your own discernment. So when it comes to the Greys, to my understanding, the history of the Greys and how they ended up working with the reptilian races was through the intergalactic wars. They were basically blackmailed into working for the reptilians, or their whole race would be wiped out. So over time, they completely lost empathy. So my understanding of the Greys is they've not always been this way, and that over time they've completely lost any empathy and any connection to source energy. So the reptilians also have no connection to source energy either. So the main mission and why they abduct people is they are trying to recreate the soul. So they want to play God essentially, and they want to recreate the soul. So they have been performing experiments on humans, hybrid breeding and things like that, in order to try and recreate the soul. So the Greys have agreements with top government officials in exchange for advanced technology that they are allowed to abduct people and do experiments on them. This is how they get around the universal laws as well. Now, when it comes to demonic energy and ET energy, negative ET energy is actually a lot worse than demonic energy. There's so many people that say demons and ET energy is the same. It's not. It's ET, negative ET energy is actually a lot darker than demonic energy. It's a lot smarter as well and a lot more deceptive. So the ET energy is very much responsible for a lot of the false light that's around. Now, there's many light ET energy as well. I'm not saying it's all dark, but the Greys and specifically the reptilians are very deceptive and very smart. So some of the things that I have had clients experience through abduction is their eggs being retrieved. Now, this is for hybrid breeding that they do. So if you remember, I did a reading on Ted Bundy and I said he was a reptilian NPC. So this is something that the reptilians and the Greys are responsible for. And what they actually do is they inject a pregnant woman with the reptilian DNA, and this is how they create the reptilian NPC. So when the woman is pregnant, they inject it with the reptilian DNA, and then they monitor that child as it grows up. And basically what happens is, over time, that child, when they become an adult, can be completely controlled by the reptilians and the Greys. So this tends to be the likes of psychopaths, serial killers, reptilian NPCs, completely controlled by them, and they don't have that connection to source energy. Now, if anyone's watching this and they're pregnant, I wouldn't worry about this, okay? This is not something that is common, that happens to a lot of people. The abduction side is more common and does happen to more people. However, I wouldn't worry about the NPC side of things. I have had several clients retrieve memories of going back to Mount Shasta, where there is a negative ET base there, and having all sorts of experimentation done on them. A lot of the time for females it is egg retrieval, and they will take those eggs away for hybrid breeding. This happens to a lot of gifted people as well, where they want their eggs for that specific reason. And then I've seen in the Scientology base, when I remote viewed that, there's a lot of hybrid breeding going on down there. What they can do is then put put those eggs into women that are held captive and force them to have those children. So the likes of baby farms and things like that, all alleged, of course. Another reason why they abduct people, and a lot of the time abduction is very different from what it's portrayed to be in the movies. For example, like people getting taken up into these ships and things like that. It can either be done in the astral realm, or it can be done whilst the person is sleeping and they come and visit them whilst they're sleeping. And the other thing that they do is put implants into people as well. So these implants I do see in people when I'm doing energy checks and things like that. I've had implants myself as well in the past. There's all different kinds of implants, and depending on where they're placed can be used for different reasons. They can be used for tracking devices. There's reptilian implants that go into the crown chakra that basically can make the person suffer severe mental distress, and over time can be completely controlled by reptilian forces. Another thing that I've seen the Greys be involved with is cloning as well. So I see the Greys and the reptilians as being responsible for all the cloning as well. They've very much infiltrated every area within the world politics, the world stage full of, clones. The pharmaceutical industry, they've infiltrated that industry as well. And there are so many Greys that actually reside on Earth right this minute in underground bases. I've seen them when I've remote viewed so many places in underground bases. There's so many underground bases, underground tunnels and things like that worldwide, where a lot of Greys and reptilians do reside there. The Greys are essentially slaves, though, to the reptilians. The reptilians are in charge of them, and the Greys are, they do have their hands tied, but as I've said, they don't have any empathy over time because of the acts that they have committed to humanity. A lot of the times as well, they target people who have dark soul contracts from other lifetimes as well, and that's an access point for them to come through if anyone has any soul contracts like that. They are thousands of years ahead of us with technology as well, and they have given this technology, a lot of this technology, to our government, so we are getting so much technology hidden from us. So the clients that I've seen were having complete time lapses as well, where time would just pass and they would black out, or they wouldn't remember certain points throughout their day. So it wasn't always happening whilst they were sleeping. Sometimes it was happening throughout the day. They would have blackouts and time lapses happening. Other ones, it's been through the astral realm as well, or whilst they've been sleeping, and all were waking up with marks on their body as well. So, unusual marks on the body that couldn't possibly have came from anywhere else. The belly button area is a really common one, marks around the belly button area, like pinpoints or holes around the belly button area. Really sudden onset of severe mental distress coming with that as well, to the point where they knew there was something spiritual going down. All of the people that I've seen have been people who are spiritually aware that it's happened to as well, and they just knew that something was off, and then that's why they've came to see me for memory retrieval. I also see them as being highly involved in MK Ultra and what went down there as well. Things like the Montauk project and all of these things that went on as well, I do see them being highly involved in that. So I am nearly out of time. I'm going to need to do a part 2 because there's so much more to talk about with the reptilians as well. So let me know your questions in the comments.
So what do you think about that? For me, I find it extremely interesting because that's basically what I gathered from Elon Musk, and in a channeled video I watched a while ago from a trusted source, they said that he had beings that were controlling him. So then it's basically like he isn't in control of his actions, or he is, but it's like he's negatively impacted by the other species, So it's like I can see that, and I can see a lot of humans, you know, I can see that. Like seriously, even like a lot of the humans that do like outlandish things, like I can see where, you know, that could come in. So that does make a lot of sense. And you know what really stood out to me when she was saying that they're not the same as demons and they could be more powerful? Yes, I totally agree, because for me, I believe that demons are internal, and they're the demons that we fight with, right? Like, you know, we have to overcome, you know, the demons that try to pull us down to a lower vibrational frequency. And so I believe that it is true that they are way more powerful and way more darker than our demons, because, you know, these are actual beings that can like cause harm and impact your lives in excruciating ways, especially that they're a lot more advanced than we are. But tell me what you think. I found this video very interesting, so I'm glad we got to watch it together.